Hey, welcome guys. It's Wednesday. We made it all the way to hump day. Thanks for pouring in. So, man, it's an exciting day for cryptos. The Dixie plummeted. Stonks are roaring. And we're going to get into it, man. Is Bitcoin back on top? Are the bulls in charge? We're going to get into it. But go ahead and pour in while I do my post, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Their bodies ached, and their hearts held nothing but hatred. They fought endlessly, but death never came. They despaired, stuck in the eternal quagmire.
Posse.
Put some moon landing on for you guys instead of that weird imagery. There you go.
Damn, son. This must be a DJ Smokey exclusive.
Protect Positive Squad.
Wait a minute. I know who you are. Yeah, but I heard you were dead.
I am. I feel chopped and screwed right now.
Don't worry about what the fuck he be doing. It's DJ Smokey.
Hell yeah. Who's ready to go to the moon? We're going to the moon, baby. Yo. What's up, brothers and sisters? Man, good to see all you guys. Curtis, S.A., Willem, Mr. Camp, McLovin, Trader Geo, Gazgano, Missy V, King Andrew, Red Elephant, Polar, One with Nature, Anthony. Hit the like button. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday night. Hope you guys had a good Wednesday. I had a nice Wednesday, man. So, man, what's going on? What's going on with the charts, bro? Let's see. Anything crazy with the crypto bubbles? Holy smokes. This is a crazy day. Okay, there we go. I had to oh, no, this is today. Damn. We got a crazy day here, folks. A lot of stuff to go over. The altcoin session's gonna go crazy, man. All your guys' recommendations. So what happened? So the Dixie plummeted. The Stonks are still going up. Bitcoin had a bullish pattern. Lot of stars aligned that led to all this crap happening. So we had a nice day, but you know, what's tomorrow gonna look like? You know, because today was great, but today's over. You know, so we got the daily candle close. The show's over, folks. We're going down to 30K. Everything's fucked now. It's the party's over. That was it. Trader Geo and the Bears are taking over from this point forward, man. It's GG for us. Just kidding. I don't know. Let's look at the charts, man. Let's look at the charts. So to be honest, you know, even though this is what we really love to see, a big green dildo straight up to the Q2 sentiment, even shooting past quarter two. Look, I mean, look at that daily candle, man. That is a strong daily close. And look where we close. Where do we close at? FG's all-time high anchor, the final anchor that is holding us down. So this is an anchor placed at our all-time high, and this was a very important level for a long time. This was the level that we tried to break out from in the past, back in March, but we Buzz Lightyeared. We tried to fly out the window, tried to be the superhero, but Bitcoin, we said, Bitcoin, you're just a toy, and it fell down to the ground in shame. And then we had to, where did we have to go? We had to go all the way down to the year to date and play around down there for a long time, man. A long time. So we formed this head and shoulders pattern, and then it's a fractal. So you've got fractals going on here. So you've got this big head and shoulders pattern, which hasn't played out yet. We're at the neckline of that, right? So we're hoping that plays out, but it's a fractal because what happened on the small time frames is a little miniature version of that. Like, you know, imagine this 1 month May anchor right here as the year to date, right? And we had a little head and shoulders on that guy. So the 1 month was kind of like a little mini year to date kind of fractal thing going on. It's like a similar bottom happened here that we wish to see with the year to date. So just an interesting thing that I noticed there. And that pattern played out. So that head and shoulders, the little mini head and shoulders off the May anchor, done, old news, target hit, it's GG. Now, what I'm a little concerned at is that we are snagged here on this all-time high anchor. This still, since we are not, we did create a higher high from the last high, but there's still other highs we've yet to take out, right? And so technically we are still in a downtrend, and we haven't overcome all of our anchors. We're not over all VWAPs yet. It's not clear skies. We still have a bit of turbulence, and we're currently on the final boss, the all-time high anchor. And when I look at these anchors on Bitcoin, look at the slope of these anchors, guys. Someone in the chat, tell me what I'm looking at here with these anchors. What about them is concerning to me? Little bit concerning with the anchors, just in the short term. Like, you know, we're wondering, is Bitcoin just going to shoot up even more? Am I going to miss another party tomorrow? Is it going to be a big party above deck tomorrow? Exactly. So you guys are telling me that, yes, the anchors are sloped down. And so this tells me that this is actually a really good, like, from the people who were longing and saving Bitcoin down here, there's a lot of volume coming in at this current level, and it screams profit taking to me. Not to be a Debbie Downer, because the overall picture is still looking pretty good, right? We're over the Q2 and the year to date. So now we have flipped bullish. Bitcoin has flipped bullish. It's over its quarter two. It is now technically quarter two is now hinting at being a good quarter for us. Now that we're over that red line there. And we are over the year to date, and we got what looks like a sufficient bounce on the year to date. So we did flip bullish. We're just snagged on a little resistance here. This would be a really great profit-taking level, and I feel like ebbing and flowing between the all-time high anchor and the Q2 anchor would be the perfect thing for Bitcoin to do while these anchors kind of flatten out and scoop up. So I'm actually not too hopeful in the short term about like mega bullshit. I do want these to kind of like flatten out and round out. You know what I'm saying? I want something like this to go down a more healthy, and maybe these other shorter anchors do something like this. And Bitcoin does something like that, and you get, if it is going to go up, which I actually am leaning bullish now because we're over both the anchors. This is the kind of scenario that I'm thinking is going to happen. So is it the time to long this top right here? I don't think so. I think that we want to wait and see what's going to happen around this anchor, the all-time high anchor. It does seem like a profit-taking area, an area for perhaps some sideways, some ebbing and flowing as these downsloping anchors even out. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys, now that I'm mentioning the downslope, I'm sure a lot of you guys are in agreement because we're all looking at the same things here. Willem says, the anchors are banding up closer together. That's a good indication of some volatility. It's a good indication of a breakout and some price discovery coming for us in the future. But, not to say that the price couldn't just simply shoot up, because what happens in markets, especially cryptos, is that it'll get boring, right? And then the big move will just happen before the common man even has a chance to react. And then you got to deal with the shame of selling at the lows, and the market just keeps going up. And so I'm not saying it's outside the possibility for this to continue up and then, then start ebbing and flowing, and then we get the flattening of the anchors and the price pulls the anchors up. That could definitely happen too. But you just can't be too overly bullish on a downsloped anchor. That's all I'm telling you guys, especially one that we haven't, convincingly come strongly on top of and come down on support with. So that's where I'm at right now. It was a really good long play that happened with this head and shoulders. But I think by the end of the week, we'll have a convincing picture of what's going on at these levels here. But one thing I want to show you guys that I think you might find valuable is if you take our Q2 anchor and you add the band multiplier, this is going to tell you how volatile the price can get from this anchor in the event of a breakout. So if this does start showing some strength over the Q2, these are some levels here that we would want to look at, where this is where the volatility could take us. So this isn't, these aren't real VWAPs. These are statistical projections of VWAPs. It's like you're watching the shadows dancing on the walls in the allegory of the cave. That's basically what this shit is. But you do have, and it's not labeled on the right, sadly, but I can just mouse over this. So 68.1K, that's one level. 61,598.5 is another one. And the upper band all the way up here is right about at 75K. And so if this is, if the year to date was the bottom, or basically, even if it's not the macro all-time bottom of it's not like the bottom of the gods. Even if we do have to come down after a higher high to some lower low or some shit far off in the future, if this is a local bottom, then we could run all the way up to 75K. So that's some good news for you guys. I would just just the safe, healthy route for Bitcoin to take is to play around at these current levels, flatten out the anchors, and then make that quick run up to 75k. And I believe that these anchors are descending a bit too, so it might be a little lower than that by the time we get there. But that's where I'm at with Bitcoin, probably sideways and then up on Bitcoin. Now, when we look at the Dixie really took a big shit. This explains what happened with cryptos. Like, you guys gotta hand it to me. Even though I'm just reading MC, we saw the double hump diversity going on here. You saw the lower high and the even waves. I don't know, it's kind of a weak bear div. It's not really a bear div. It was kind of more like agreement between the price and the oscillator. But what we did see is a downtrend in wave and a downtrend in price. And so there was no like rubber banding momentum, like divergence action going on here for this downside stuff. But it did still look bearish, right? Because overall you kind of got this downslope of the momentum on the weekly, on the Dixie. The money flow was looking thin. The RSIs just weren't there. And so we got some follow through on that bearish Dixie. So I'm glad to see my take on the Dixie playing out, because I was a little shaky and insecure about my analysis of the dollar index. Honestly, like I was kind of new to it, taking a peek at it, and I'm like, I'm feeling like it's looking a little weak, but I don't really have much else to say. I was telling you guys, like, go watch Tom Crown on that shit, but it played out. It's been playing out pretty good. So I gained a little confidence on my Dixie analysis. So the S&P 500, which is looking a lot like the NASDAQ, so we'll just look at the S&P. It's going to be hard to do an anchor analysis at this point because we're over them. We are over our anchors. Let me get rid of my bands here. As you guys can see, we're over the anchors, but it's looking real strong. We're in price discovery, all-time highs, daily waves just about to start creeping over the plus 60 line, about to enter that runaway train mode. So it's hard to say how hard this goes. Let's do a band multiplier on this. So it looks like the S&P, guys, don't you think it has a little more juice to go? I feel like we could go probably up to 5,375 area, like the upper band of that volatility there. And that's about as good as I get for like upside targets. Like, I'm not going to be the best at telling you guys exact levels to sell at with the VWAP strategy. Not going to lie. Like, just because when you're up in the clouds, you're not contending in there's pluses and minuses to the VWAPs. Like, when you're dancing in the gulag with all the VWAPs, they do give you good levels to plan trades around frequently, but you're kind of like barred from swing trading. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like you're allowed to swing trade, but it's kind of hard to find a target. So that's the downside of using volume weighted average price. Is now the only way we can really find like upside targets is some technical levels from the past, which we don't have any on the S&P because we're at all-time highs. Or you could use the band multipliers on the VWAPs, but that's just a statistical projection. You could do like fibs, but I'm not really the best at these fib, like, I guess you could do like these fib targets where you draw the Fibonacci and then like the 1.618 up here. Anyone can do that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna just stick to the VWAP for now. I'm gonna stick to these band multiplier number 3s, and this is pretty much where I'm gonna be like calling for profit taking. This alongside with wave readings. If we can get like wave readings on Market Cipher be like a clear divergence, RSIs losing the 88 level, blue waves falling below the 60 line, yellow oscillators crossing down over zero, money flow pouring out. Those are the types of signs I like to see for profit taking. But the only issue with the Market Cipher B top signals is you're not going to get a horizontal, I'm not going to give you a horizontal level to sell at. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to. You know, it's not my job to do that. I'll tell you guys when shit's tired. You know, I'll tell you guys when we're extended, you know, to the, we're stretching that volatility as much as we can around the VWAPs. But other than that, it's pretty much your guys' job to shave profits and not be too greedy. So the S&P is running. So far, it's looking pretty strong. RSIs are real high up. I have a feeling that this is going to stay up here and we're going to see some more upside on that for the time being. So platinum has been something I've been looking at, and man, oh man, it's just continuing to go up. Platinum's my favorite commodity right now, just because this chart looked absolutely amazing. We came up over these anchors. The anchors are scooping up. We're seeing that volatility. You guys are seeing what happens when you overcome all the anchors. It allows the asset a lot of room to breathe, and when those VWAPs start sloping up, you see that volatility. Like, it's no joke, man. So platinum is likely going to come up and test these other highs here and probably even break out of that. Like, this overall, what I love about this is it's not just a little mini breakout, it's like a fractal breakout of this larger cup pattern here. So it's like breakouts on breakouts that I feel like might happen on platinum. So yeah, I shot a little text to Platinum Mike Perry and I told him that platinum was looking good. Did the treasury bonds uninvert yet? Okay, good. So so we're not World War III doomsday alien invasion hasn't happened yet. Doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. If anything, we actually turned down on the treasury bonds. So, you know, it could this whole mess on this chart crossing over zero. When this crosses zero, the stock market's dumped like 60%. Last time it happened was like 2008. Like, this could happen at any day, any time in the next 420 days or something. So it could be delayed. This could even crash down and come into another low, and this could be pushed back for years. But we're going to continue to watch it. Treasury bonds, that's like a leading signal of impending doom in the markets, but we're not going to worry about that now. Right now, we're in the everything bubble. So ETH had a good... ETH did okay, but look, ETH is still underperforming under its year-to-date and its Q2. It definitely had a nice little move, but that's all it had. Now it's at resistance again. And if we look at the ETH BTC chart, jeez, man. Think about all the good things that have happened in crypto, and in ETH is just not having a seat at the table. Meanwhile, Solana, look at Solana BTC, this pair. I actually might swap some BTC to Solana. I'm considering it because remember how I told you guys the quarterly anchor and the year-to-date on Solana BTC, like, they conjoined together. This is pretty rare. You don't see this too often, but they conjoined together and they flattened out. And do you see how it's picked a side? Remember I used to say that? It's a pick a side. It's gonna pick a side. So Solana BTC seems to have picked a side, and the side is up. So maybe Solana has another run on Bitcoin, which is like that's a really cool pairing. This is a good pairing to watch. It seems pretty clean. It seems like a clean bullish pairing here, Sol BTC. And if we look at Sol's chart, it looks like that other chart. The actual Sol price is also trending up over these year-to-date and quarterly anchors. So Solana looking quite bullish right now. Looking quite bullish. Solana is unfortunately beating out ETH despite racist coins and running up. You know, already taking a majority of this bull market's pie. It seems to still be outperforming ETH. You know, we were hoping maybe Solana could take a little break, take a little step back, and let some other coins have some fun. But yeah, you guys are saying join the dark side, man. You guys are join the dark side, man. ETH ETF, bro. What if it doesn't get approved, bro? I don't know about that, man. I don't know, man. But also, I just don't think that ETH will catch me by surprise. I believe that I have my thumb on ETH I've known it and loved it for years and years. It made me rich last cycle. And I owe ETH a lot. Like I owe it to ETH to continue monitoring it. And you know, this pump was something, right? Coming back and testing the year to date again. But unfortunately, we're still in the gulag. So I'll let you guys know when there's a momentum play to the upside on ETH. But I'm just not seeing it right now. It doesn't matter with the ETFs. You know, when the ETF gets approved, when that happened with Bitcoin, it dumped. It took time after the Bitcoin ETF for things to settle down and for the flows to actually come in, you know? Anytime you say you're going to do something great, that's just the beginning, bro. People weren't cheering for FG on my first day of my push-up challenge. What if I was going to quit? What if I was a bitch and like, the next day you didn't even see a push-up video and I was just all cap. Like that's what happens, bro. Like if you say you're going to do something great, like people are going to doubt you, and markets act the same way. So ETH is in the doldrums until like it starts performing. I'll tell you guys when it starts performing. So my favorite AI coin is the Render. Render's looking, we were looking at a hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour here. Was it the 1 hour? I couldn't remember if it was the 1 hour or like the 30-minute or something, but it looks like, so this line is on all these time frames, and you can see this hidden bull div is pretty much on all these time frames. So 30-minute, I pretty much see it there. The 1 hour, you see it. Even on the 2 hour, you see it. So you see waves coming down, price coming up. It's a sign, and we're over these both anchors, right? And so that's continuation signs, and we did see a follow through on that. So I'm glad to see that little signal following through. Drew says, great TA, always composed. Thank you, man. I always try to come in and try to make sense of things, you know, not be too crazy, not be too clickbaity and all that stuff, and just read the anchors with MC, man. That was my promise since the beginning. Rye Guy is the kind of a fly guy, says Solana broke its anchored VWAP from its high just now. Yup, I think these comments are a little old, but yeah, we just went over that. Yeah, Turbo Daddy says, what's good, man? I got a question for you. Why do the AVWAPs turn up on the smaller time frames versus larger time frames? Could you rephrase that question, bro? Because it doesn't really make sense. Are you saying like, why do smaller anchors? I have a bunch of anchors on BTC, so tell me again, Turbo Daddy, like what you mean. Are you saying why do these smaller time frame anchors, why are they turning up but the big ones are not? Crypto Hub says, what song is this, man? This is my favorite one of my favorite artists to just like work out and hike to, and I just love DJ Smokey, man. I've been listening to DJ Smokey for about 10 years now. He's just my boy, bro. One day I'm gonna meet DJ Smokey. But he spawned a bunch of other artists like himself, and they all sound like him. They all take like 3 6 Mafia clips, and it's like nostalgia trap. There's a lot of like video game sound effects and sound effects that just like, I just love it, man. I love that whole genre that they created. So DJ Smokey kind of created his own little genre of like nostalgia trap with like 3 6 Mafia type shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a part of my, man, I just grew up, you know, when I was living in an apartment, broke with no money in college, I was studying kinesiology. This and my SoundCloud playlists were like what got me through the days, man. Those were the good old days. It reminds me of the good old days when I had less to worry about, bro. You know, we don't gotta sell weed anymore. We don't gotta wonder about paying rent anymore. There's a lot we don't have to worry about anymore. But now we gotta worry about other shit. Now we got mouths to feed, bills to pay, all sorts of shit. But Now, man, I like going hiking and working out in the gym to that stuff. Okay, so Turbo Daddies has the follow-up. So he said on the daily time frames, the VWAPs are down. Whereas if you switch to the 1 hour, they're turned up. Okay. So on the 1 day, we do see that, like, you know, the overall trend on the daily here on this anchor is a down slope, which really lends credence to a short scalp at this level. Like, for us to see candle action, basically this slope alone of this anchor makes you want to go onto the 30-minute and see, like, is this divergent? Is there an anchor trigger, a bearish anchor trigger for a short, potentially down to the Q2 anchor or something like that? And it looks like we got an anchor, still waiting for a trigger, still waiting for something of structure to manifest. It's still a little bit early to tell, but you do see like the bear div on the 15-minute coming down. My guess is that you see another wave. It's not as strong as this blob back here, and it ends up being a bearish divergence. And then you could probably short scalp that. And that's all based on the fact that you're slamming up against a downsloped macro anchor. So what he's asking is, if we go to the 1 hour, why is it sloped up? I don't see that it's sloped up, bro. I don't see. It looks a little sideways. We are looking at a more zoomed in portion of the line. If you were to go on the daily, like, you do see that it is getting flattened out as we speak. You know, the dirty work is being done to drag this anchor up, right? So eventually, with time, with a couple candle closes, if we can hold up here, this anchor will flatten out and this Q2 will also be pulled up. And so obviously, by staying up here, that's good. You know, it'll drag the anchors up. If we have to come down, then you're looking at probably a consolidation, a more healthier consolidation that overall pulls the anchors sideways and then up over a longer period of time. But I'm not really seeing the upslope, bro. Like, if I go to the hourly, it's not upsloped. Even if I like exaggerate the price a lot, I'm not seeing what you're seeing, bro. I see sideways, you know. But smaller time frame, like, so this is a big anchor placed on the all-time high from months back, right? And so it's weighing that old data point from way up here more and more over time. And so it becomes harder to manipulate this line over time. Whereas these shorter anchors, the anchors I placed at like this high or the May anchor, these do get pulled up much faster, especially with so much volatility. So we should see these anchors begin to pull up. And you guys got to remember that these are not simple price averages. They have to do with volume too. So like, if some bullish volume comes in and price stays the same, you'll still see the anchors come up a bit. So sometimes the anchors will do like what you don't expect. Like, sometimes the price will go up, but the anchors like aren't curving up, and you're like, what's going on? Maybe there's a lack of volume and the price is going up in a low volume type of environment. So keep that in mind, that these anchors are reading the volume as well as the price. And sometimes like you'll see some sneakiness with the anchors. Like, they'll start curving when the price is not going up, or they'll remain flat even if price is going up, because the volume may be disagreeing with price. So yeah, so thanks for letting me do my spiel. Let's see, looking at Pepe had to cool off. See how we came up to these? This is a good example of Pepe is a lot more mature in its anchor situation. Like, we bounce off the Q2, right? We bounce off all these anchors, and the anchors start sloping up, and we get that volatility, we get that follow through. Where does it go? It goes to the upper band, the band 3 multiplier of our Q2 anchor here. See this? You click the Q2, and that's exactly where we went to. So I'm going to continue to use the band multiplier as a way to gauge upside volatility going into the future. Seems to me like it's a good way to, you know, you pair that with a bear div, and you have a good level to like take profits on the swing longs and shit, or the long scalps, or whatever you got going on. But right now, Pepe is cooling off. You see the bear divs. 4-hour momentum tumbling down a bit. Daily, ooh yeah, big bear div on Pepe's daily. Pepe might have to cool off substantially, guys, not gonna lie. So like we came up higher, and it's really due for like a leg down to that anchor support, that rising anchor support. It would be totally healthy. There would be nothing wrong with that. You know, like if we just had a move down to there. Now that makes me wonder about these other meme coins. So like, are these other meme coins gonna follow Pepe and just underperform and dump with Pepe? Or are they gonna fill that gap as like the go-to meme? So like you see Floki here hasn't seen an all-time high yet. So I'm curious to see, is Floki gonna fill this gap of, you know, that Pepe is leaving as like the king of memes or something? Like, are one of these other meme coins going to pump now? And are these meme coins going to you know, like just rotate as to which one gets to its all-time high? I'm not sure. Seems to me like Floki has some more upside on its Q2 anchor. And Trench Runner, I'll go over BTC again, man. I'll go over BTC again. You don't have to rewind, bro. So yeah, Floki, I feel like it has more upside. The weekly's getting saved. I believe Floki has some more upside. The weekly looks pretty good, whereas Pepe Pepe on the weekly just looks like it's reclaiming runaway train. The yellow oscillator crossed up, but just look at the daily, it just looks a little bit worrisome. So it's just not as like good of a chart for like swing long upside as Floki right now. As for Bonk is like kind of with Floki, where it's like another good performing meme coin that hasn't really seen the upside that Pepe did. Maybe it has more upside to it, I'm not sure. You see an anchor trigger here. Anchor trigger. Daily anchor trigger. I mean, that's all I got there for that. All right, we'll look at ADA. Ew, brother. What's that, brother? Ew. No, actually, ADA had a good little move up here. We got like a little 9% pump. If it taps on the butt cheeks of the gulag, we're at a 14% pump. So, but like that's your reward for like buying knives this whole time. Even if this were to shoot all the way up through all these anchors, I still would not be plugging for a momentum play on ADA. This has to like really come up, and I'm not going to be shilling no Cardano, no shitter Cardano with hodgepodge. What the hell is his name, man? Anthony Hopkins, Stephen Hawking, or whatever the fuck his name is, dude. That dude is not, his coin is not gonna pump, bro. But if it does, it has to pump a hell of a lot before FG starts shilling that shit. But yeah, freaking Stephen Hawking, bro. So we want to go over BTC again because we got some new people in. Thanks for joining, guys. But the gist on BTC is that we have a downsloped all-time high anchor, right? We are over the Q2 now, though, so this is really good news, Trench Runner. We're now over the year to date and the quarterly anchor, the purple and the red anchors. Those two very important anchors for Bitcoin to stay on top of. But because the quarterly and the all-time high anchor, the orange anchor, are downsloped, I believe that we do want to play around here in a healthy fashion and let these anchors go sideways, right? You know what I'm saying? Like something like this. Let these shorter time frame anchors pull up, and there is a healthy move on Bitcoin in the coming days, perhaps you know, over the weekend and then going into next Monday or something. We see more follow through, and then the bullish upside to that would be this: you take the Q2 anchor, right, and you select the band multiplier 3, and you can see there's a lot of upside here. You know, if we break out from this level here, You're looking at like a 12% pump on Bitcoin by the end of May. So that's where I'm at with Bitcoin, bro, is unfortunately the smaller time frame head and shoulders pattern played out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the head and shoulders down here, that played out, dead and gone. Neckline broke and the target was hit. But what is interesting is that it's a fractal. What happened on the monthly anchor is happening on the year to date on a bigger time frame potentially. So we have on the year to date this bigger head and shoulders, and its neckline is the quarterly 2 anchor. And it does seem like we are breaking out of that. So if we could just get a little tap as support, this would go along with my hypothesis, like tap that as support, continue up, and you would see this year to date macro head and shoulders break out. And that is also like, I mean, you've also got this larger, like, you kind of have this like a wedge, you know, you kind of like with the candle bodies on the weekly, you got that explosive looking bullish wedge, or like a bull flag kind of deal there. This is usually a bullish kind of setup here. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Bitcoin. You see the weekly is looking to get saved. It looks like at these levels we are not saved. So if we can come up a little higher this week, that would be nice. To get that little green dot on there, that would be a nice little symbol of hope. That's pretty much where I'm at with Bitcoin. I like to see the yellow oscillator crossing up like this, and the blue wave looking to instill some hope here with a little green dot possibly coming. But my guess is sideways for like the rest of the week. People get bored and then it continues up.
People think that because this man's called the Antichrist that he'll appear to be evil. But Satan...
All right. So that I spieled my spiel. What else is going on here? Let's check the flows. Do I have anything else to spiel, man? Looks like the flows are still positive. Wait, let me refresh this. Yep, the flows are still positive. And I'm gonna get better at looking at this like on-chain data, man. This block website has some really cool on-chain data to look at here. But you can see, like, look at the miner revenue. Look at that miner revenue just plummeting. Average transaction fee. Remember, it was really expensive to send some Bitcoin, and then now it's like really cheap. So I don't even really know how this shit works. Like, to be honest, I'm not like a Bitcoin expert, but you see the on-chain volume is very low this month. Number of new addresses on the Bitcoin network is super low. So does that mean like new users? There's like a lack of new users? That's probably what that means. Institutions have taken over Bitcoin, bro. Look, number of active addresses on the Bitcoin network is like very low. Meanwhile, though, we do see the transactions on the Bitcoin network going up. I like looking at this stuff. It's cool. I don't really know how any of it relates to price yet. I'll get better at looking at it, but it is cool to look at. So what we did, guys, with our coupon codes for NickCipher is we equalize all codes to 15% off for now, and we're gonna do some bigger specials like off in the future. But I have a couple codes. You got code Titanic, code King, code Lightning. You could use all those codes for 15% off NickCipher, and yeah, you could pick that up. We got the tutorials. You get the Discord access. You got merch here. You got our risk calculator that I made for you guys, so you can plan your trades based on your total capital here. So just some good tools, and you get the indicators that I've been using, these waves down here. You get the best oscillator in trading. It slays the stock market. As you saw, I did a full analysis on Stonks, some commodities, on cryptos. It murders everything, bro. But I use NickCipher in tandem with the anchored VWAP tool. So that's just one of the drawing tools up here. It's a volume weighted average price. It's basically creates dynamic supports and resistances for me and my community that we can all talk about. You know, we can all talk about the same levels, work off the same shit, and plan trades using the same ideas. And if anyone in the chat has had successful trades using VWAP, go ahead and speak up, because I think I've heard from enough people that VWAP has revolutionized their trading strategy, where like I'm very happy about where I'm at as an analyst. I really feel like the weatherman, bro. I really feel like I come out here, and if I say like the storm is blowing this way, like it really does blow that way. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's always the biggest fear of an analyst, is like, am I gonna get like egg in my face? Am I just gonna be like, are the people gonna throw pies in my face? And is this just like horoscopes for men or some shit, you know? But I've done a pretty good job with these levels of like, you know, calling moves. Not every day I see big ass moves, but it's usually like lately it's been at these resistances, like at the quarterly, we'll hit the quarterly anchor and I'm like, ooh, that's resistance, you know? And then you come down to the smaller time frames, and I mean, you see like, look, we hit when you hit that red line up there, market cipher B gives you the bear div. You know, you hit it up here, see, you see the bear div right there. So all you need to succeed and make money with market cipher is some strong key levels, I would say. Like for me in my community, it's the anchored VWAPs. For CryptoFace, he uses spider lines. For Jason Casper, he uses like Fibonacci's and stuff. But yeah, Trench Runner says VWAP made his last 6 big trades. Yeah, man, it's big, bro. It's big. And even if you don't enter a trade with the VWAPs, they give you a good idea of when you would enter a trade or when to get out of a trade, or they just like tell you the environment, you know? Like when you're in this big web of VWAPs and it's all sideways, it's like, okay, we're ranging. It's scout mode, right? But you can see that if we could overcome all these VWAPs, we do enter a more volatile phase, like something like what happened back here, right? You know, you come up over these 2 major anchors and it starts running. So, because there's no turbulence overhead. Like you guys, as we go months and years with the VWAPs guiding us, you'll see that like we'll basically be ebbing and flowing between these 2 major like eras. Like it'll go back and forth between settling and plunging into all the VWAPs, like a big net of VWAPs, and then like areas where we lift up off of those webs and like start moving, you know? And in crypto, we love to catch those areas in the market, those points in history where we are really moving. And so the VWAPs, along with the market cipher, are helping us catch those big momentum plays, bro. Usually you'll see the weekly waves, you'll see a break on those VWAPs, and you'll see the weekly waves like break over the plus 60 line, and you just go ape mode, bro. Like once you're over the plus 60 line on the blue waves, shit goes nuts. B says, let's say you long and BTC breaks all-time high. Since there's no ceiling, how would you set a target to TP? That's a good question, B. Especially with the VWAP strategy. That is a downside of the VWAP strategy. And actually, so Market Cipher B and the VWAPs have a similar weak point, which is a lack of target taking profit levels at all-time highs in markets. The only thing I really have for you, man, is you find a relevant anchor. In my opinion, the quarter 2 anchor, whatever quarter that we are in, click that anchor and select band multiplier 3. You could also do 2 or 1, but you see that this is going to give you some statistical levels, some approximations as to how high you could go. So if Bitcoin does break over these anchors, B, I would expect us to come all the way up to like 74, 75 based on this band multiplier. So we got the band multiplier working for us. You know, some people will take a Fibonacci and they'll take the last retracement, and you see you got that. You could like select as many of these little levels in here as you want, and this is another way to give you some targets. But I would say that it's good to take your profits off the table for the most part. You do want to hold on to those good entries, but don't be afraid to shave profits, especially if you're seeing Market Cipher B's waves on a smaller time frame looking divergent. So what that looks like is like right here, like see how we're at a key anchor, and you see the waves coming down, but the price going up. So you don't have a horizontal level that I'm providing you, B, where I say get out at this level, you know, but you at least have you have a feeling to look for in the waves that tells you it should be time to take some profits. So that's the best I got for you, man. Yeah. But, you know, the plus side is when you are over the anchors, you don't really have to think as much. You don't have to think about upside targets and stuff because it is bullish. You're up over those anchors and it's just running. Like, just let her rip, baby. You're in ape mode. Like, just let it freaking pump, you know? And as long as you can get a good swing position, you know, you're not really too concerned until it starts plunging back into the net of VWAPs again and you're back in the gulag, right? Like over here, we had a crazy run over these anchors and we pumped all the way up to here, and you don't even really get concerned until like, oh shoot, now we have a major retest of a previous anchor, or maybe like you dump down here and you're seeing, okay, the anchor from this all-time yearly low, or the yearly low, not all-time low. You know, we come down and pretty much tap that yearly low anchor, and that's kind of your signal that you might want to place a bearish anchor up here because this might be a local top, right? And so now you officially have a web of VWAP anchors that you're like, okay, we're probably going to trade around in here, you know? So yeah, it's very clear. The VWAPs are telling you like when it's running and when it's consolidating. Rye Guy says, do you think SHIB will ever get close to his all-time highs? He's asking, is SHIB ever going to be saved? You know, I don't know much about the politics of SHIB, but currently right now, it's having a hard time coming over its Q2 anchor. That being said, we are within striking distance of gaining a healthy posture over the quarterly anchor. So there's a little bit of bearish volume, you know, weighing you down, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it did have this like really bullish pump up, right? This is a pretty bullish pump. It seems like it's getting like a kind of a bull flag, but I would not bet on the continuation of that bull flag. It could come lower until you're over those anchors. I'm just gonna go along with the anchors. We're gonna say if we can come over the year to date and the quarterly 2 anchor and show some strong support on top of those anchors, then hell yeah, man, maybe SHIB will run. But I just went over how like I'm not the best at upside targets. I'm probably not the best analyst at telling you that SHIB will go to this amount. You know, I will perfectly tell you when it's consolidating and when it's running. And that's about it. Turbo Daddy says, FG thoughts on people? I hate people. What's people, bro? Is that a coin, man? I'm not a people person. You got a good 5-day anchor trigger here going on, playing out. This is a wonky chart, bro. We're going over some... You always pick the wonkiest charts, man. I like your picks, man. You always pick the best picks. Up over the Q2. Looking strong, man. This is a strong one. Pumping over its year to date. Looking strong, man. Little more upside on that, and then you're at some pretty stiff resistance, bro. Not going to lie. You're at like triple top territory here. little bit more upside. That's about it. That's about all I got for you there. 65. You see how like the bear divs is not like super convincing yet? It does seem like, you know, you're not getting anything that's too dastardly looking yet, right? A little bit of 15-minute bear div. But it'll probably play around the intraday and then come up to that upper band there. You know what I'm saying? And then, but then you're at some messed up resistance. Okay, I'm going to get my coffee. I'm gonna be right back in just like 2 minutes or something. Just watch this moon landing, guys, and put your altcoins in the chat. Any altcoins you want me to look at, and I'll take a peek at some alts or any asset. If it's a commodity you want me to look at, put the ticker in there and say what commodity you want me to look at. Just only things on TradingView. I'm not going to look at anything on the dexes right now. But let me go make my coffee. I'll be right back in like 3 minutes, and then we'll go over what you guys want me to look at. Y'all stop complaining like some hoes. Fuck wrong with y'all? Yo, I just had to re-up a little bit. Man. So before I go into these alts, I had a couple good W's lately, man. First of all, I just did a video today on my channel. And I did 420 push-ups today. I freaking did it, guys. I literally, like, I was in bed last night. I actually had a single-manly tear because last night, I had a feeling like Bitcoin was going to break out bullish, but, like, there was no backup on the big time frame. So I was, like, having a little Jesus, talk to Jesus moment. And I'm cringe, bro. I'm like just a total Bitcoin Jesus psychopath, bro. Like, I'm on some prison shit. I did 420 push-ups for Jesus and Bitcoin and you guys, and like I was just getting in my feelings, bro. So I freaking murdered the game. But I also, like, my back is so sore, bro. It's not like broken or like super fucked, but I think I might go back to making reels and shorts of just push-ups for a little bit. Because going hard on these burpees, bro, oh my god, man. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row of just like super hardcore prison workouts in the desert sun, just freaking getting it, man. And so I gotta let my body heal up. But I really leveled up the last couple days, like in my mind, bro. Like some serious shit. Like I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to elevate so I could be like a better man for NickCipher and travel and represent NickCipher and be an example to you guys. And like, I'm trying to be successful out here. So, and I really mean it. Like, you know, you guys can see the proof that I really mean this shit. And I also bought my mom an SUV, bought my mom a Lexus mid-sized SUV, and I got my little sister a vacuum. So, yeah, so I've been a good man to like the women in my life. I'm doing my push-ups. I'm showing up for you guys. So I feel good, man. So I hope you guys feel good. I just wanted to share that with you guys because, you know what I'm saying. But let's run this shit back. Let's go over some altcoins, some meme coins.
Every place he has lived has become a wasteland, desolate.
All right, DSDS wants me to go over the Doge.
Survivors may be the only humans left alive. Together, they will attempt a journey into the unknown.
I own a pretty good amount of Doge, man. So it's good to see us coming over the year to date, pumping over that. Look at this anchor trigger here on the daily. Looking to definitely test that quarterly too, man. So there's a bit of upside here. A safe 6% on Doge, I would say. Not financial advice. But also, like, to reclaim that is pretty bullish, right? So if the rest of cryptos are pumping, Doge may reclaim that. And you could have that 40% move back to the top there. But I would say take it step by step, bro. There's probably a scalp. Just looking at the daily, there's a scalp up to that Q2 anchor. Let's see if there's evidence of that on the small time frames. So you see the momentum's already up there, man. We're riding on that intraday VWAP. You see the momentum, how it's going down, man. You see the higher lows. You see the lower lows in momentum. That's a hidden bullish divergence. So Doge is, you know, it does seem like it's working its way up there, man. So Doge is looking good, man. Doge is looking good. B says, what do you guys think of BTC? So we'll go back to BTC. You're keen to say that this is a short zone, bro, because where we're at is the all-time high anchor. You know, I would say that we are over the year to date and the Q2 now. So we have flipped bullish on Bitcoin. So you don't have as many cards stacked in your favor as before for shorts. That being said, you know, this is like the anchors that we do have up here are sloped down still. So there probably is a short. It might not be a big one, but I would say that like it's likely that we range in this area for this duration. Like this little red box that I'm drawing, this is kind of what I'm thinking is like we range in this box for like the next couple days. This is the daily, so about a week or so of ranging in this box, and that would flatten out the anchors and give a little bit of a recoil for like another move to the upside, in which case you would see that move up to like the 74k or 75k or something. but I'm guessing that these downsloped anchors need to even out first before we see deeper follow through on Bitcoin. One with Nature says he wants to look at peace. Is he saying peace, or is peace a coin? Maybe he's just telling me goodbye. He was just saying goodbye. I never know, man. There's so many shit coins these days. I never know, man, I never know, man. You guys didn't really give me that many altcoin suggestions. I see BOEM. Can I look at BOEM on TradingView? Okay, we can. Hell yeah. Let's take a look at it. So there's not much data here, man, but we're gonna slap an anchor on the beginning, right? Looks like we're testing that anchor right now. So we're at a very critical volume weighted level for BOEM. Let's place a couple other anchors. Let's place a May anchor. Looks like May has been a good month for BOEM. And so your BOEM could be playing out further off this May anchor, bro. Definitely a bullish case building on BOEM ever since the start of May. And these monthly anchors really work wonders, man. Like at the start of a month, try like anticipating the price to retest the previous month's anchor. Like, so you see, like if you place one on April and one on May, you know, April was a bad month for BOEM. But we get May, and where does it immediately want to go? It immediately wants to run up and test April's anchor as resistance. And so it's almost like when April's over and you get May 1st, it's like a freebie swing trade up to the April anchor. So I want you guys to, you know, in your trading strategies that you make with these anchored VWAPs, maybe try a monthly strategy where you just plan a big swing trade at the start of every month. At the start of every month, that's when your big trade is going to be at. And you're going to pretty much just bet on the price running back to the previous month's anchored VWAP. That's like a really good trade setup you could find on like most assets. Most assets will play by that rule. And that happens on a quarterly basis as well. Like let's say quarter one is a bearish quarter for your asset, and then quarter two begins. Well, the price is likely going to run up from that low up to the quarter one anchor and test it as resistance. Be like, is quarter two going to be bearish like quarter one? We got to find out. We got to run up and we got to test that anchor. So right now May's playing out real good, man. May came through. We test the resistance, find a higher low. Now we're busting through the Q2 on BOEM, and now we're testing its lifetime bearishness of BOEM. You know, if we can come over that, this is gonna run, bro. So I'd say that hold your horses for a little bit. Hold your horses. But if we can break over this like this 1.34 cents level, bro, you might be looking at another big run on BOEM. I'm not really sure of the politics of BOEM or much really about it. I'm just strictly looking at the candlestick chart, bro. But this is the level that we're currently at. This is the level that you need to watch, man. Just slap an anchor right on the beginning of BOEM. If we break over that, you're bullish again. Carlo De Leon's in a Pepe short, man. I think that's a good play, bro. Pepe overextended, pumped all the way up to its like the bands, the VWAP, like the third volatility band on our quarterly anchor on Pepe. So, and it looked bearish divergent. So, man, that's a good little. At least it's a point to take some profits on the Pepe. At least. Trench Runner says, how long do you wait to remove a specific VWAP? When it stops being relevant. Like, it's going to take a long time for a quarterly or a monthly anchor to stop being relevant. Like, let's say BOEM, came up over this, and then it was way up here, way up there, and these anchors are like way down here, and it's just, the price is in such another zone that these anchors do nothing for us other than provide some like long-term support. An example on Bitcoin would be like if you go to the BLX chart and you slapped an anchor like just at some old yearly low, you know what I'm saying? Like, or like on the COVID dump. Like, look, like let's say you slapped an anchor on that COVID dump, and then you go to the daily chart. Do these anchors down here really matter anymore? No, you know. So this is the kind of situation where like a macro anchor just doesn't really matter anymore. But for the time being, pretty much all these anchors that I've placed on Bitcoin on the daily here, these are still important. We're not sure if Bitcoin is truly out of its gulag yet, if it has to chop down in here a little bit longer, flatten out these anchors. So yeah, just taking it as I go, one step at a time, man. But these smaller little anchors down here, likely I will delete. Like this one right here, this was like some old resistance that I was watching for a breakout of that little mini head and shoulders. I feel like we probably won't need that, so I might delete that, but I might keep the May 1st anchor. So just use your discretion, bro. Daniel says, when there's no volatility, how can you get... Oh, this is like freaking glitching on me here. I can't even read your question. Here we go. Daniel asks a question. He says, when there's no volatility, how can you get directional bias when volatility starts to move again? Well, I just use the anchored VWAPs, bro. Like you have these anchors, right? So there's no volatility because these anchors are flat, right? Well, there is some volatility because we're ranging in and out of here, but for the most part, we're not in a volatile leg up portion of the Bitcoin market like we were back here, right? We're in a more sideways point in the market, a sideways point in history. And it's like, how do you know which way the volatility is going? It's just which way we break from the anchors. So if we're breaking up over the anchors, then volatility to the upside. Whereas this right here, like when we punctured the year to date, this was very scary. This was like an indication of, you know, if we stayed down here, this could have easily like slumped over and we could have easily fallen down to that 52K level. You know, like once you lose that year to date, you now have all of these VWAPs bearing down on you. That's a lot of weight overhead, a lot of volume, a lot of ideas all working together to push the price down. Money flow is another good one. OG Blockchain and Lolo are saying money flow. Obviously, like you look at a big money flow and you know where the money flow is trending tends to be a leading indication of where the price will end up as well. Market Cipher has the best money flow in the game. But the common thread here is look at the volume indicators, right? Another good volume tool that I've seen some Market Cipher traders use is these volume profile tools, which some of them have some good guides on how to use those, but any volume figure, any volume based indication is going to be good. So we got a couple other meme coins here. Sup, my man. CP wants me to look at Gala. Gala of nice bullish wave formation, but we're under those anchors. So you know, you're getting a kind of, if you want to save Gala, you got some, you could basically scalp it up to the resistance, a nice 10% move on Gala. And then you kind of just would like get out of that and then wait for some bullish traction to build on top of those anchor sentiments. So there's like two kind of moves. There's like the move up to resistance, get out, and then the swing long play, the longer play there on Gala. And just make sure those shorter time frames are backing you up on those ideas. And that's all this is, man. These anchors, I'm trying to generate like ideas for you guys. I'm not telling you to long or short, not even telling you like what price to enter or what price to take profit, but the anchors do help you generate ideas. Rye Guy wants me to look at Brett. Not much data here on the Bybit chart. Some charts like don't let me put anchors down. I'm just making sure I have a chart with the most data here. But yeah, it looks like Brett does not have that much data. So, so the lifetime of Brett, we are coming over that sentiment. So Brett is flipping bullish, like lifetime bullish, but by lifetime I mean from April 26, you know. So by lifetime, that's not even a quarter two kind of anchor, but it is a pretty big anchor, and we're coming over it. Now, from a May standpoint, we broke over that, and then you see the additional follow through. So May is proving to be a bullish month for Brett. A good steady baseline for Brett to hold would be one place at this low here. So we'll go into the smaller time frames. Brett is certainly running, bro. Brett, this is very strong, man. So, man, oh man. This is scalp time frames. Look at that Brett pumping up 44%. That's Brett's looking real strong, pumping up over these anchors. We'll put a little band multiplier on this. How high can it go? I think Brett has more upside. I think Brett goes to damn near 5 cents. And I'm quite bullish on this, bro. I'm quite bullish on this. I like that we've come up over these volume weighted sentiments. You see us kind of scooping up a bit. Money flow coming back up on the hour. Not that much data though, so it's a little speculative. It's a little volatile. But I heard some good things about the Brett chain. Like, I heard some good stuff about it. I don't like the name Brett. Brett is kind of like Aiden or like Kyle to me. Like when I heard the name Brett, I was a little bit like, ew, brother. Ew. But if it keeps performing like this, I'll have to soften my tone, bro. Thanks for sharing, man. Sorry guys, we're chewing through these recommendations. Altair Studio says Nodal. I've never heard of this one before, man. Damn, you guys got the best freaking... Man, you guys got some good ones, man. Damn. Okay, this is a Mexi coin. Mexi coin. We'll put a May anchor, because it seems like that's a theme that we've been seeing lately, is May has been a very telling volume weighted anchor to place on like most of these coins. Damn, I mean, it's sad to see that Nodal has not taken the same opportunity as other coins to turn May. Well, actually, you know what happened here is May, look, we got May 1st came and it did run up and it tested April's anchor as resistance. So it did make that scripted kind of play that we like to see, but it really did get tested as resistance. That's the problem here, is Nodal is like, it actually did test April as resistance, and now we're back under May. So man, this looks real gulaggy. That being said, things could change. You do see the curvature of the waves coming up on this 4 hour. Does the daily reciprocate? Yeah, your RSIs are coming up on the daily. You're at some good support. I mean, look at this. You're at this kind of like major level of support here. It's knife catchy, bro. It's this your nodal knife catching, man. I really would want to see it coming up over the May anchor before I start thinking anything big on nodal, bro. You know how I am, bro. I like to buy strength after the dip. So it's hard to recommend longing shit to my people. It's hard for me to generate bullish trading ideas on downsloped macro anchors. I like to give you guys bullish ideas on top when price is on top of upsloped anchors. You know what I'm saying? Ew, brother. Daniel says, do I have a video explaining how to use the anchored VWAP? Yes, dude. Yes. First of all, I have 12 videos on VWAP. If you join my VIP, you get a 2-hour call consultation where we go over me and you go over your trading and your trading background, and we hash it out. And I get you into the VIP group where I post analysis and streams and stuff. But you also get the VWAP course, so you get all these videos that I pumped out on VWAP. But you pretty much get the reduced version of that if you go on my channel and you watch this free video, Bitcoin AVWAPs you need to watch. This just explains my logic as to how I set up my Bitcoin daily chart, and it goes into like just my whole approach to the VWAPs, bro. So just watch this Bitcoin AVWAP video, and if you can't make money with that video, man, or from watching these streams, then don't get the VIP. But honestly, if you make some money with the VWAPs and you like my streams and you like my consistency and you've been able to generate some good trading ideas using Market Cipher and VWAP, then I would consider joining the VIP community, because honestly it's more about networking with me and like getting to know the traders in the community. I don't really give trade setups, you know what I'm saying? Like I give ideas on TA on my favorite cryptos, but yeah, man, it's more like it's more like an actual VIP like family in there. Anthony T wants me to look up Jupiter. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Jupiter was not doing too good, or was it doing good? Let's see here. May anchor. May's looking good. Boom. Okay, so May began. We immediately shoot up to the April anchor. I like to see that shit. We're playing by the rules, okay? I like to see coins that play by the rules. Jupiter's looking pretty bullish, man. I would wait a little bit for some actual confirmation on top of your Q2 anchor, but I love how May has been proven very strong so far. And Jupiter, the chart, looking better than a lot of coins. Like, I mean, so we're seeing this kind of, on a lot of alts, we're seeing this consolidation going on, right? But for some alts, that consolidation is going on below all these anchors, you know? So it's like the consolidation is happening from this more bearish position. But then you have another class of coins that are like, such as Jupiter here, where the consolidation is happening like in between, which is what we want to see. That's a little bit more of a bullish chart setup. But there's an even better class of shit coins where we're clearly over the Q2 and we're trending up already, like Pepe and shit. Pepe's actually already hitting some resistance up here. So ideally you want to be following these coins. When they start trending over that Q2, you catch that swing play above them. Otherwise you're pretty much scalping in these ranges on these alts, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jupiter's looking strong, man. I like how Jupiter's looking, building a strong case there. Let's look at AVAX. Looking at AVAX for you, Howie. AVAX is an example of one of those coins that's consolidating under its anchors, not doing the best. May comes around, we do get the test of Q2, but then we go bearish again. We go back under May. So not showing the strength of other alts, but you are seeing an anchor trigger set up here, a potential case for this to come back up, but you'd be hitting some resistance at $38.37. And it's in a pretty bearish stance with a lot of volume bearing down on it. Not the best chart for Avalanche, but could be something there. Well, we'll look at TON. Someone mentioned TON. Oh, this is spot. Let me look up not spot. Right off the bat on the daily, unlike some other coins, I'm seeing like bear div. I'm seeing like daily bear div, bro. Looking big on that May anchor though. Looks like Ton was like an overperformer in kind of like Pepe. Ton was overperforming, and now it looks like there's a little bit of resistance here going on. Oh yeah, so see, it's looking bearish divergent. Like we do need to come down and tap perhaps the May anchor as support, or perhaps the Q2 anchor as some support. But the end result of this pullback here is going to be hopefully some bullish explosive move on Ton. So I don't know, we'll have to, I would say this is actually a short scalp likely, and then you'd have to see what happens around these anchors. Do we get a proper support tap and continue up, and do we get that big momentum play like an explosive move up off that, or do we simply slam and Buzz Lightyear failure back down below? Pepe's in the same kind of class as this, I'd say. Yeah, so Ton, it performed really good in May. Now it's looking a little tired, so it's a little bit late to the party for like FOMOing into it. It does need to cool down a bit, but if you're seeing some strength on the May or April anchors, I would say that's a good one to get into in a couple of days or weeks. I don't know the time frame, but keep looking at Ton, man. Something might be cooking there. Yeah. Rye Guy says look at Bonk. We did take a peek at Bonk already. I think Bonk was like kind of like Floki, where it's looking strong on its Q2 anchor, but it's kind of been underperforming compared to Pepe because it has this all-time high anchor bearing down on it. That being said, you've got a daily anchor trigger set up on that Bonk, and we are over both the year to date and the Q2, so it does have a bullish posture, and you got an anchor trigger on the daily. So Bonk's actually looking pretty good. It might catch up to Pepe. And that's it for today. I think that's it for today. You guys were awesome. Thanks for asking such good questions and sharing some good suggestions on the charts. And it was a good day today. It was a fun stream. I loved going over the recent Bitcoin price action, and I love every time we come up to the, we're at these final stretches, like the final boss when it comes to the anchored VWAPs on Bitcoin. I would love for us to get out of this zone and go up into the clouds, man, as much as anyone else. But I am recognizing that these anchors are still downsloped. We came up here a little too quick. For Bitcoin to come up in a healthy fashion, we want to range a bit, flatten out these bearish anchors, and come over them in a more convincing fashion over the next couple days. So hopefully, like by next Monday, things are looking more healthy, upside, sideways up, side up and to the right type shit on Bitcoin. Hopefully, but we'll see, man. So you guys have a good one. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.